Why my weight loss method works. Finally, and for good, for women over 50. Today, I want to take you on a visual, goal setting, dream making, life changing process to get you back to beautiful. And sometimes we have to think about what it is that we need to do to get a goal started and to get in action. And so when we focus on our desires, this can ignite our passion and help us focus on these goals. So there's this quote that I like, and it's really interesting because it just really makes me think about every time I kind of come in and think about the process of building a goal and reaching for something that feels scary. Because I mean, we all have those hairy, scary goals, and we got to reach for them. But did you know? And have you heard this quote? Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. Isn't that powerful? And the way I'm looking at that is if we don't ever try to reach beyond being stuck where we are and get into action, that fear is going to always be there. The worry, the overwhelm will be stuck. But what if you can push beyond that fear and just get into action? It's just one single action a week, making or taking the next step to try to get to the goal that you want, to get to the desire you want to have, to focus on how you can get passionate for this goal and to make that vision, to get your dream vision so that you can lose the weight and get yourself back to beautiful. And so I just wanted the weight loss. I'm not special. I just had a goal. I pushed beyond that fear and I made it happen. And I used a method. I created a method from my lived experience and all my education that's going to work for you and is working for everybody that I come in contact with. And I'm a completely different person than I used to be. I've used the knowledge, I got excited, and I put myself in action, and I went beyond the fear. I got excited. I want you to get excited. Can you use excitement to get into action? If you hang out with me long enough and listen or binge listen to my YouTube station or here on Instagram, because I'm recording on both at the same time, I hope that I can inspire and motivate you to make some changes for your health, because it's not just about weight loss, although that's what we want, because that's what we see in the mirror and that's what makes us feel good and get up and get going during the day. Put on something beautiful. Like I just, I love to get dressed up here because this is my office and this is who I am. I got back to beautiful. And I'm so excited to be the person I've become. I got excited. I put myself in action. I stepped outside the fear and I didn't fail. There's no failure when you make choices, when you make actions to go forward. You just get results little by little until you get to the results that you want to have. You just keep looking for them until you get them. There's no failure. The failure is if you don't start, if you let the fear take over and you don't even get the knowledge you need, if you don't reach beyond that to see what you can do. And so that's what I did. And you know what was really interesting? And I didn't even know it at the time because I was looking for a weight loss solution. It saved my life. So my weight loss solution has become my diabetes solution, because what I accomplished was getting healthy to lose the weight. And I only lost 20 pounds to start with when I started my lifestyle journey. And I had to get healthy to lose the rest of the weight. I had to discover my low carb method. I had to put it all together. I had to study functional diagnostic nutrition. I had to live the life experience, and I did it. And I know you can do it too, because I'm going to explain how I'm doing it. And even if you don't work with me, if you don't want, I want to give you the method of how I do this and what I am doing so that you can see the process, put it in your mind, think about it, make a vision, make a dream, think about what your goals and your actions are. Get excited, because there is a health revolution out there, and I'm in it. And I'm out here speaking about it and talking about it because I understand it. I lived through it. I study it. I'm living it. And I know it works because I am 61 years old without any disease in my body, no medications, and I don't need any because I use food as information to my body. And that's what my holistic low carb method is going to do for you too. So I'm going to take you guys on a journey. That's what I'm talking about here today. So I'm going to show you my picture. This was me. This was me at maybe 200 pounds. I did get up to 225 pounds. I think that was 200 pounds. It could have been more. But what I remember was in my mid-30s, I was 225 pounds, lost the weight, gained it all back and forth on the merry-go-round. And would go back up to 200 pounds because I would eat ice cream. I would eat jelly beans. I kept nibbling. And so I could not turn off my sugar switch. And I hated that feeling. I was overwhelmed, worried about it, just in fear every day of gaining weight. And so it was my goal at that point to just get my weight under 200 and to struggle with that. I didn't like living like that. And so I finally kicked that to the curb and I don't have to deal with that anymore. But it was pushing through the fear, and it was finding the knowledge that I needed to get the results that I wanted to have. And I did find it. And that's why I'm so excited about sharing it. And there's, I never looked at this as a restrictive process because I was excited to find my weight loss solution. And so those are opportunities. So you want to look at this not as fear, but as excitement and opportunities and taking the knowledge to heal your body. 88% of our population in the United States is sick. Of a diabesity epidemic is going on. The conventional approach to weight loss is a low fat, high carb method that has never been proven to lose weight. They have never been able to prove that that will help you reduce diabesity, which is what Mark Hyman has coined, obesity and diabetes, a diabesity epidemic of people being unhealthy because of the foods that are causing them to have problems. And so the root cause is not addressed when you eat that style of diet. And so that's why it never works. And that's why diets don't work, because you are not addressing the root cause, which is insulin and blood sugar imbalances and a metabolism that isn't functioning. When you look at this at the root cause and address it from the root cause, then you actually start getting the results that you're looking for, and your body will work again so that you don't need medications and that you could just use food to support your body. And you know what? Our bodies are on a clock rhythm. If we just do timed restricted eating, like eating at specific times of the day, it's amazing how that works for the body. That's a healing process all on its own. So I'm so excited to just come here. So pull up a chair, get a drink. I've got a drink right here. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to talk here, but I want to go through my method and show you what it is that you could do on your own, or you can implement it with me. I had to go get a drink because I had some bulletproof coffee, and then I started coughing, and I did it with ghee, not butter, but I don't know if I was reacting to the ghee or the collagen in it, but it was just causing my throat to have a little frog. So if I have to clear my throat, that's why. All right. So I love that I am a completely new person and that I actually reached my dream goal of being slender, being able to wear pretty clothes, put on clothes that I want to wear, and just feel good about myself and my body. I'm not perfect. I am 130 pounds. Could I lose more weight? Probably, but I'm fighting my obesity gene. And I still need to be comfortable, feed my brain, and get the right amount of fat, protein, and carbohydrates so that I function the way I need to. And it's just not, maybe skinny is just not healthy for my body. Skinny is perhaps healthy for some people if your body lets you get there. But when we're in our 50s, we want to know that we are reversing visceral fat, that we are creating healthy muscle, because that's our longevity organ, and that we want healthy bones. So it's not about being skinny. And if we can't get rid of the weight around the middle, that's okay too, because you just want to slender down most everywhere. And then we use our abdomen fat the subcutaneous fat to help store some estrogen and hormones. And that's what we need to do when we're over 50. So it's not about being skinny, but being healthy and reducing the visceral fat and not having inflammation in the body. And when you know you don't have inflammation in the body, when you turn off the pain. And so when you turn off the pain of inflammation, you start to feel better. That's how one of my clients is like 95% less pain in the body. There's a really good book out there called The Sugar Crush. It's kind of graphic when you listen to it. I listen to it on Audible, but it's about sugar causing neuropathy. And he uses the term sugar crush because it crushes your nervous system, it crushes your nerves. And these symptoms cause pain. And you'll see that type of pain before you ever see the symptoms of diabetes, because diabetes, or it is a symptom of diabetes, but insulin resistance, that's a part of an insulin resistance issue. And you will see that coming for the next 10 to 20 years, and you'll be damaging your eyes with high blood sugar, as well as just hormone imbalances everywhere. Sugar crush on the body, insulin resistance, causes pain in the body because it's inflammation and it's causing your body to break down at the metabolic and mitochondrial levels. And so my method that I have is different versus the conventional method because it's going to address the root cause. And the root cause is lowering the blood sugar and supporting your metabolism. And so let me just show this to you. And I do have it posted at my website. So if you want to take a better look, this is my holistic low carb method. I don't know if I can show it here. So I'm going to go over this today because it's a framework and it's good to see what to do, what I am doing, and how I'm helping you with my program. And so I use a holistic low carb method because that is what is the number one process that you need to do to lower your blood sugar, reduce insulin resistance, and reset your metabolism. And the way I start my clients off is I give them a metabolic analysis, a metabolic and thyroid analysis that they fill out, a test, not a test per se, but a, questionnaire. When I get that back, I create a metabolic analysis and see where all your metabolic chaos is, per se, like Reed Davis likes to say. Where are all your symptoms? What symptomology are you having in your body? Where is the predominant problems in your body? Is it neurological? Is it endocrine? It could be, one of my clients was more on the detox. A lot of the detoxification pathways were showing symptoms. And so we want to look at that. And so for the very first session that I give you is a 2-hour deep dive and metabolic analysis and health intake and a visioning so that we can get to know each other. So I could find out what's going on with your body, what your goals are, and you can see what symptoms you really are having. There could be 300 to 500 symptoms in your body. That's why your body isn't working the way you want it to, because you need to address those symptoms. But when you go to the medical system in the conventional process, they will treat a symptom. And so you can't have 500 doctors treating a symptom to get all of that corrected. And so the way FDN works, functional diagnostic nutrition, is that we don't treat any specific symptom. I'm not a doctor. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I'm here to support you at the holistic level and be your health detective and your partner in helping you find the root cause problem of what's going on in your body. And we're going to use a metabolic analysis to find out what's going on. And we're going to run 3 to 6 labs to find your hidden healing opportunities. And then this is going to show us what your weight loss blocks are. When we discover your weight loss blocks, we're going to be able to then address it. So once these labs will come to your house and you self-test. And so that's really cool. So there's the gut test, which is a stool test. You would take that at home and send it in. And then there's a Dutch hormone test that you will take at home, and it's a urine test, and you take that at home and send it in. Those are the only 2 that you need to pay for at this point, because right now I'm having a special, and I'm giving anybody who joins my program with my 3 or 6 month program, you get a free food sensitivity test. And this is a $355 value, but I already bonus in 3 other labs on my 6 month program. And so this is quite a good discount towards finding out what your hidden healing opportunities are. And when I find out what your hidden healing opportunities are, we can address them. And when we address them, this is what's going to happen, because you're going to get your report card. We're going to get on another 2-hour call to do a results and recommendations session. And that's actually after your diet deep dive, because just before the report card, you're going to get another 2-hour. If you're in my 6-month program, we're going to do a 2-hour deep dive call and to dial in a holistic low carb anti-inflammatory diet and why you want to do that, and how a lot of it is going to be based on your metabolic analysis and the things that's going on with your body that I'm supporting you with. And so I take that information to help you design a low carb diet that was going to work for you. And then the other thing that we're going to do is, once you get your food sensitivity test done, then we can find out what foods your body is reacting to at the mediator release and antigen level in your body, what your white blood cells are reacting to. When we discover this information, this is powerful. Some people think you don't need a food sensitivity test, but I used to be sensitive to, and I haven't taken the test since, tomatoes, zucchini, sweet potato, blueberries. You would be eating food you think are good for you that are causing inflammation in your body at the antigen levels, causing antigen reactions in your body. When what this does is it causes your immune system to overreact. And if your immune system isn't strong, it's causing a problem to your immune system. And then with food sensitivities, if you don't take care of a food sensitivity, it's keeping your body inflamed. It's keeping your body having leaky gut, because food sensitivities can cause leaky gut, but they're also part of the problem of continuing for leaky gut. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. And so basically with food sensitivities, you want to take out the reactive foods, which is our red and your yellows, and you want to take them out for 3 to 6 months to a year, depending on how your body reacts to these. Now, I probably did 6 months to a year on most of mine, so that I could get a better healing. So what you do when you take them out is you work on healing your gut. And so you do a reset on the gut, a heal and seal the gut, and we work on the dysbiosis in your gut at the same time. So when we use these labs, what I'm looking for is your food sensitivities. And then with the gut test, I'm looking at digestion. Is your bile working? Is your total bile acids low, or are they adequate enough for you to actually digest your fat and actually use your fat to absorb your nutrients? Because if your digestion's not working, if your gallbladder is sluggish, most people who do low calorie and cut back on their protein end up having more of a gallbladder dysfunction. I remember Dr. William Davis says, if you go low calorie too much, you just go schedule your gallbladder surgery, because then your gallbladder will react and have inflammation and have backup cholestasis, and then it needs to come out. So whether that happens with everybody, I'm not sure exactly how that happens, but it happens. And we want our body to work for us. So we want to, and see, that's where I come in and support you. We're going to find out what exactly is going on with the test. And then we're going to address them with diet and lifestyle and targeted supplementation. So you don't need to go on any medications. If you can use supplements, diet, and food to support your body, to get your body back on track. Now, these supplements would be something that you would take for 3 to 6 months, or rotate them in and out depending on what you need and what you're trying to repair in your body. Do you have parasites? Did we find any parasites? Did we find H. pylori in your stomach? If we find H. pylori in your stomach, we need to kill it. And that's either with Matula tea or some pylori eradication process. And then you need to heal and seal the gut. You need to bring in the right bacteria. Do you have dysbiosis, or do you have no bacteria at all? What is your ratio? We want to look at the type of bacteria you'll have in your gut, so that I can help guide you into having a stronger, healthier gut that works for you. Because when your gut works for you, then your brain and your body and your energy are going to work for you, and you're going to have less inflammation. And when you support your gut, with 80% of your immune system in the gut and the inflammation and autoimmunity starting in the gut, we need to correct your gut health. And that starts with looking at foundation is what are your food sensitivities, removing the food sensitivities once we find them. And the other side of that is fixing your digestion. If your digestion isn't working, your low stomach acid, you can't digest your fat and your protein, you're not going to absorb the nutrients you need for neurotransmitters. And then you could be spending a lot of money on organic food and not absorbing the nutrients that you need. It's good that you're not putting toxins in your body. I mean, we all need to focus on that. That is good. So for the very first month that I'm working with you, you're getting that 2-hour deep dive call. You're getting a 2-hour diet presentation, and you're going to be getting all your labs done within the first month. And then we're going to get that information back and do your food sensitivity results and recommendations. That will come in first. Then we're going to actually do a results and recommendation session for the rest of the test to find out what exactly is going on in your body. And when we discover all that, you'll get your supplement protocol so that we can fix it. And so we don't treat a symptom. We support the whole body all at once by taking away the interferences and bringing in the support that is needed so your body can get back to healthy. And when your body gets back to healthy, all of a sudden, you're turning off the pain of inflammation, you're decreasing brain fog, you're increasing your energy, you're decreasing hunger, because that's what, when we dial in your diet and dial in a low carb diet, we're going to decrease those cravings and we're going to reduce the hunger. And if you need extra support there, there's specific supplements like glutamine that will help take away the cravings. But there's problems with the neurotransmitters, and your Dutch test will show a few of the oats, which is your organic acids. It's going to show some neurotransmitters. And so that's going to be the dopamine, serotonin. It's going to show glutathione, B12, B6, biotin, some major markers there, and some inflammatory markers, the neurotransmitter, neural inflammation markers that we want to know what's going on at that cellular level so that we can support it. If something is low there, then I know I need to address that and give you the supplements that are going to help your body get back on track. And then with the Dutch test, what we're going to find out with the Dutch test is what your adrenal curve is, what's your hypothalamus and pituitary and adrenal axis, that's your HPA. What's it all functioning? How's your cortisol levels look? Are they too high or too low? And what exactly is going on at the, with your hormones so that we can take a look at it and support it. But the biggest thing here that we need to really look at is the detoxification pathways. A lot of the tests that come back from my clients are showing high beta-glucuronidase in the GI map test, which is sluggish detoxification, especially hormone detoxification. And if that is blocked up, and if you're constipated, that's going to block up your detoxification pathways, and it's going to show it could show on your Dutch test. And so we want to know that information so that I can support you and get you detoxified, because if you're not pooping, you're having a problem. And so I'm going to focus on making sure you get the right amount of magnesium so that you have that working better for you and so that you could sleep. And so with that GI map, not only does it help us discover what your digestion's doing, because there's a lot of people say, they eat protein, but they don't maybe eat very much, or they don't feel comfortable eating protein. A lot of that is because you have low stomach acid and you don't feel comfortable eating protein. So we need to actually turn on digestion so that we could eat more protein to build more muscle and to have longevity and stronger bones. If we're not getting the protein, we're going to lose that process. And then in the GI map, they have that section that shows your colon health. It shows pancreatic function. Is it deficient, sufficient? We want to know that. Are you showing your fat as digesting or not? And the other one is your colon showing some inflammation? Is your immune system where it needs to be? All of those things are going to show in the GI map test with the stool test. And so that's really good information. And if you have occult blood, it'll show that if it's zero or if it's elevated, and then you can take that to your doctor and get it checked out. So all of those things are really good information to find out so that we can figure out what's going on in our body. So it's like taking your body into the mechanic, only this way you're taking your body into a functional nutrition practitioner to look under the hood, to run these labs, do it at least once a year, find out what's going on in your body and correct it. So that this is the method that everybody should be doing as a conventional approach. And it shouldn't be alternative and it shouldn't be alternative. Everybody should have access to this, but it doesn't happen that way. But that's why I'm here to help educate you and give you the knowledge to know that this is something you can do. So my holistic low carb method is going to give you that metabolic analysis and we're going to run 6 labs if you're on the 6-month program. And we're going to send those labs to your home and you're going to self-test. Then you're going to send it into the lab. Now, the MRT test is going to be a blood draw, and that's for the United States. And when you get that information, it's going to show us at the cellular level what you're reacting to. When we take those food sensitivities out, pain goes away. So that's super important. And then you're going to get results and recommendation sessions until we get it all covered and you get the information you need and you understand it. And I will give you presentations all along the line, because functional diagnostic nutrition is about educating you and giving you the knowledge so that you can start understanding what's going on in your body and know how to take care of yourself after you finish working with me. So we're going to, the very first month, turn off those cravings so you can get control and feel good, because it's really hard to focus on lifestyle changes and to be on a weight loss program when we have gnawing hunger from hormonal problems and when that cravings don't turn off. And so there's a lot of things we could do with supplements and with protein and breaking down and having digestive enzymes and getting the right amount of amino acids so that we can have the health that we want to have. And so don't be afraid to use supplements. The thing that you want to be worried about with supplements is, are they practitioner grade supplements coming from good companies that don't have bad ingredients, that actually have the ingredients in there that they say they have in it? And like even collagen, making sure your collagen doesn't have metals, that it's coming from pasture raised animals, that it's not full of lead. We want to make sure those are all things I focus on as a practitioner and using my supplement companies so that you could get the highest quality products that you can have, that you can get. But if you just go to the bargain stores, even Costco, Walmart, and Walgreens, and just get supplements off the rack, you don't even know if you're getting nutrients you need, and you may not be digesting them. And if your stomach acid is low anyways, and you're taking inferior products, it may cause more oxidation and problems in your body, especially fish oil. Fish oil needs to be good quality fish oil, not oxidized. But we do need fish oil for our brain. We need it to reduce inflammation in our body. So I don't like to go without it. Now, the one thing that I do for my fish oil at this point in time is I like to eat sardines. So I get my fish oil and my food at the same time, and it makes me feel good and my brain works well. So that's what I had for lunch today so far. And I'm going to follow that up with some hamburgers and a pickle later. So I'm excited about that. And so we're going to get your cravings to turn off that hunger. But you know what happens right after that? That pain goes away. Isabel's pain went away in 9 days. 9 days her foot pain went away. She didn't even tell me she had foot pain. She goes, you know what? She was so used to it. She came to the call one time. She goes, I used to have foot pain and it's gone. It was only 9 days into her program. But she has since she lost 30 pounds with me, and she's lost another 12 going on, continuing from what I taught her and what she learned. And what happens with everybody who starts this process is the pain of inflammation goes away. So I like to say, stop the pain. Decrease pain and inflammation. When you decrease inflammation, when you take the sugar out of your diet and reduce the blood sugar load on your body, what happens is you reverse the sugar crush on your system. You start reversing the inflammatory markers in your body. You start creating your body to get healthy, to lose the weight. And that is so powerful. Don't underestimate the power of actually reversing insulin resistance. And a lot of the times you might not even know what insulin resistance is. Basically, when you're eating glucose products, when you're eating carbohydrates, they break down into glucose. They break down into sugar, single sugar molecule or glucose molecule in your body. All carbohydrates do that. So some are higher glycemic load than others. So if you're eating something that's very refined carbohydrates, breaking down into sugar very rapidly in your body, and that's going to increase your insulin, more insulin released out of your pancreas. And over time, the pancreas becomes insufficient. It's not going to work as well. Insulin levels are coming out too fast and too often. So your body then it starts to say, okay, we can't have any more insulin coming in, but there's too much sugar in the blood. And so your body's trying to stuff it all away into your fat cells, and it can't do it fast enough. And so all of a sudden you become insulin resistant to all of that, but your body still has to get rid of the sugar out of your blood because it's a toxin. Too much is a toxin. We only need a little bit. And so if it's always happening all day long, that's why we get sick. That's why we have neuropathy. That's why you have carpal tunnel syndrome. That's why you have fasciitis in the back of your heels. That's why you have pain in your body, the stiffness, all of it. The pain, I used to have pain in my elbows. It went all away when I took away my food sensitivities. The reason I lost weight to begin with was because I took away the food sensitivities out of my body to get my body healthy to lose the weight. If you continue to eat foods you're sensitive to, you will have a really hard time losing the weight. And if you keep the sugar in your diet, what happened to me, it depends on your body. If you have the obesity gene, it's going to be really hard to fight this. So you have to decide where you are with this. If you could have a bite and turn it off, then it's not going to be that big of a problem for you. But if you eat something, like I can't even eat blueberries. I couldn't eat bread without craving more. If you eat carbohydrates and they cause you to eat more, to binge and to eat all of it, a whole box of cookies, a whole pint of ice cream, all of it, then you can't turn your sugar switch off because it's turned on. You're going to always lose control, not be able to lose the weight, and have a problem. And so when you come into my program, I'm going to hold you accountable and keep you supported for 6 months so that you don't get stuck with that sugar switch flipping back on, craving all the stuff and gaining your weight back. So it's my how I support you to stay healthy during that time period so that your body learns to be a fat burner, because you want to have metabolic flexibility. So this whole process, after we discover what's going on in your body with those labs, is me supporting you with lifestyle factors, my certainty, conviction, and my accountability. Is going to help you stay the course. And we are going to go through you're going to continue to take your supplements. We're going to fine tune those. I'm going to check in every week with how you're feeling, how much you weigh, what your action plans have been, and whether you made them or didn't do them, and if we're going to course correct and do some new action plans, but what your wins are and how are you celebrating these wins, because you're in action. You're in action, pushing through the fear, making the changes, and creating a new lifestyle change for yourself. And it takes time. It's not always something that could be done in a day. Some people, I had one person, she did OMAD, bulletproof coffee in the morning, OMAD. It worked for her. Her stress levels allowed her to do that. She did it for 6 months and lost 40 pounds. It worked really well for her. And then she balances that. She doesn't do that all the time now. She's at her goal weight. She lost 50 pounds. But you know what happened? She decreased her pain because she decreased the inflammation. She no longer craved the foods unless she would snack on it. So if she started to snack on it, she was able to turn off that craving pretty quickly. If she ate one or two, she worked at a candy store. And so that was a little hard. So she sometimes would have to taste the candy. So she was able to say no to the candy, but part of the problem that she had was wheat. If she were to eat the bread, the inflammation and the arthritis would just come roaring back, turn straight back on. And that was something she noticed. And so sometimes you have to really take it up. That's why food sensitivities is so important. We have to take out the foods that are causing inflammation because you have pain in your body. When you take out the foods that have inflammation in your body, you can listen to what's happening inside your body, and then your body is going to start working again. But you'll be able to listen to what's happening. And so once you've taken it out and then try to bring it back in and see how your body feels. If your body feels okay with it, then it's okay to eat it. In moderation, perhaps. Although I don't like that term, because if you're obese and you're having a problem with sugar and you need to keep it out so that you don't turn your sugar switch on and start craving again, you may not be able to eat in moderation. That's where each person is going to be different. I cannot eat in moderation. That's why I like my food plain. I eat the same thing over and over again. I don't even like to eat blueberries because it turns my sugar switch on and I start craving food. And so I have to be very careful with that. So I have to increase my protein. I need a lot of amino acids. That keeps me steady. That gives me energy. That keeps my brain functioning. And it keeps my hunger turned off, because I didn't like living like that. And I'm glad not to live like that anymore. So you want to look at getting into a low carb method as a weight loss and diabetes solution. It is what I also like to call it is a health adventure experience, because you are on a new experience. You're creating a new lifestyle. You want to envision what you can do so you could be as beautiful as you want to be. So you can wear the clothes in your closet and feel excited every day to get up, and you don't have to worry and feel overwhelmed and just be scared that you're going to be gaining the weight back. I was always terrified. I hated feeling like that. I purged all the clothes from my closet and brought in new skinny ones. I'm like wearing a size 8, size small clothes. That's pretty cool. From a person who's been obese her whole life, 225 pounds, I was overweight as a child. To be able to clean out the closet, throw away all the fat clothes. If you've been there, you know this. How many sizes of clothes do you have in your closet, right? I'm down to a size 8 and small. I'm pretty excited. Sometimes I have a few things that are just so beautiful I can't throw them out, and they're a little bit small, but I try them on every now and then. It's always good to try on something small to see where your body is. And then the goal is, once you reach your goal weight, the goal is then to not to worry about the scale, but how can you keep your fat mass down but increase muscle? So if you've lost your fat, but you want to increase muscle, the scale might go up. So we want to look at our clothes, and we want to look at non-scale victories and how we feel in our body, so that we know that we're feeling good and that we have the health that we want. And so the goal and the process that I'm doing here with decreasing your pain and inflammation by managing your diet with the low carb method is because you're going to reduce that inflammation so you can stop the pain in your body. And then that also helps you clear up the visceral fat in your body. The visceral fat in your body is the fat around your organs. It's also the fat that gets stuck around the face and the neck that makes you look and feel unattractive when you look in a mirror and when other people look at you. Do you ever look at people and they just look swollen? That's your visceral fat. And the problem is, if you have a lot of weight around the middle, that is also a lot of place where this visceral fat is stored around the organs. And so there's a doctor you might want to follow on Instagram, Dr. Sean O'Mara. He's awesome. And he's actually taken MRIs of people's abdomens and their whole bodies. And he's showing them the fat around their heart, the fat around their organs, how much fat is in the body. You could be, skinny on the outside, but full of the visceral fat on the inside, which is unhealthy. And that's cardiovascular damage. And then we also want to look at when we get to a plateau, where is the next healing opportunity for your body? What do you need to look at next? It's not a failure to get to a plateau. It's just information you need to discover, biohack where you are, figure out what you need to do, troubleshoot off of somebody who's been there like me, lived experience, 100 pounds down, you could do this. So it's about information and getting excited to find what's going to help you, what's going to work for you so that you can have the results that you want to have. So you get that dream body back. And so my holistic low carb method is going to give you that information with a metabolic analysis, running 6 diagnostic labs to find your hidden healing opportunities and weight loss blocks, getting those results and recommendations, and looking at all of those all together. And I hire another FDN to help me with that analysis so that I get the full picture as well. 2 eyes on all your work. And we put a protocol together for you to help support your body where you're at with targeted supplementation so that your body can get back into balance quickly. This is collapsing the time it takes to have your health work. So for me, it took 10 years when I started low carb dieting, or when I started a low carb diet. I was about 50, maybe it was 8 years ago when I started Bulletproof. And it was a keto diet, and I did a lot of good fat, I did a lot of good protein, turned my brain back on, I got excited, I did not have any fear. I'm like, this is my weight loss solution, I'm in. And so I was just excited. And when my brain started working again, did you know that those carbohydrates and all that brain fog and all that just tired fatigue is because of our brain fog, because of the carbohydrate load on the body. We cannot, when we're insulin resistant, if you have body fat around the middle, you are insulin resistant. That is the first sign of prediabetes. PCOS is part of that as well. This is prediabetes. And so you want to look at reversing that visceral fat around your middle and looking at what's happening with your energy levels and decreasing the brain fog, because all of those carbohydrates are causing this problem. And so that's the root cause problem: insulin resistance and metabolism. All of the problems that we have in our lifestyle, all the diseases we're trying to dodge, are metabolic diseases. They're metabolic dysfunction. And now they're starting to say that these are mitochondria dysfunction. So we need to actually nourish our body, our gut bacteria, and nourish our mitochondria to create the health that we need. And so it's not always just about diet. There's lifestyle factors that need to go into this. That's why my program is called Holistic Low Carb Method. And I use functional diagnostic nutrition with diet, rest, exercise, stress, and supplementation to support your body at the cellular level to get you back into homeostasis. It works. It is such a cool process. And I marry all of this together with my lived experience to help you discover the clarity that you need with these diagnostic labs. You get the health that you want to have. And so we're going to find the stubborn weight gain. We're going to figure out what your weight loss blocks are. And we're going to go through all of that process that I was talking about, get you that metabolic analysis, get the labs run, find your information, find those hidden healing opportunities, discover those weight loss blocks. You get that information. I give you so much time, personal attention. I am in this because my heart is here. I don't do this just as a business. I do this because it's my passion. This is my pain to purpose and my passion. And I got excited about this because I found my weight loss solution. And I think everybody needs to know this. You need to know that this is a diabetes solution. So you may not have diabetes. I hope that you don't have it. I hope that you don't get it. And I want you to avoid it. And so this is also the process of avoiding that. Avoiding the big D, the big C, getting rid of all of this, not even having Alzheimer's. That is a metabolic dysfunction. Alzheimer's is diabetes 3. If you get stuck in a blood sugar dysregulation and your metabolism stays dysfunctional, then you will end up with all of those lifestyle problems. But this is a solution to turn it all off. That's what I love about this. Is the number one process that's going to give you the support that you need. You can do it on your own, DIY it. I want you to have the health that you need. Now, if you don't have the labs to find out what's going on, just do the low carb diet. 80% of it is diet. But this is the other part of it. To really get your health working the way you need to look at your rest, your sleep needs to be dialed in. You need to prioritize your sleep. Because if you're not getting your sleep, you're not getting the weight loss. And if you're not getting the sleep, then you're not going to get fat loss. Happens at night. And then if you're not eating at the right times of the day, that could be a problem too. You want to eat within the daylight hours. We are diurnal. We need to eat during the daylight hours. And if you look back at the way we were designed and our ancestral health and lifestyle, we went to bed when it was dark and we got up when it was dawn. That's the way our body is supposed to function. If you're outside of that, detoxification doesn't happen. Your brain is, the lymphatic system of your brain is supposed to rinse your brain at night. If that doesn't happen, if you don't get your REM sleep, if you don't get your deep sleep, your body, you're going to cut short your life from not sleeping. And you're not going to get, you could be stalled in weight loss because of the sleep's not functioning. All of these things can happen. And so then there's exercise and movement. If it's not a lot of movement and you don't feel good with extreme movement, or maybe your cortisol levels are too high, we're going to take a look at your cortisol levels to determine whether you should have a lot of high stress workouts or whether you need to have more gentle movements. And so I do more gentle movements because that's where my energy levels are, but that's what I do naturally. And so I want you to balance your circadian rhythm. I'm going to help you support that. Get the right amount of movement, get the right amount of grounding, get out in there, get sunlight, hang out with me, and you will be doing it, right? Because that's necessary. And so there's also stress management. And all of these things I'm going to present to you with a presentation and educate you and show you how to manage all of this and to keep you informed so that you know what you need to do. These are the hidden healing opportunities that you need to have within the hormone, immune, digestion, detoxification, the energy system, and the nervous system. All of these things are addressed all at once in my program throughout that 6 months because that's how you take away the interferences. This is how you support the body so it gets healthy to lose the weight. And so you might lose 20 pounds, you could lose 30, you could lose 40 quickly. It just depends on 100% implementation of the process so that you could get the results you want. So stubborn weight gain, you need to get healthy to lose the weight. What's in the way? Let's find out what the hidden healing opportunities are and discover those, and then we correct them. And with supplementation, diet, and lifestyle. That's why the low carb method works so well, because this is what it's going to do. And again, this is my low carb method. I have it right here, and it's on my website at Lori Ballou. You could actually go right now to Lori Ballou. I think you can go to Lori Ballou if you have it, .com. I'm the only Lori Ballou out there, LORIBALUE, or look at it later. And then see what the trajectory is. And this is the framework of how my program works and what I'm going to do to support you and how it works and why it works. But in the end, as we're doing this, as you're getting rid of those cravings, decreasing the brain fog, getting more energy, getting your sleep dialed in, reducing that pain, getting the inflammation under control, we figured out what's going on with the labs. We're addressing that. This is what's happening. You're rebalancing your blood sugar. You're becoming metabolically flexible. You're becoming a fat burner. All of a sudden, you've reset your metabolism to work the way it was designed, our human design. That's the way it's supposed to function. And you know what's really cool about this? That leads to longevity. And there's studies out there that show that you can have 10 to 20 more years of your life, quality life, because of this process. And so that's what I'm living through right now. My skin is good. My hair is not falling out. It's thicker than it's ever been. It's longer than I've ever let it grow. I feel great. There are times where I still feel sluggish and tired in the morning, but I'm balancing my hormones. And that's always going to be a hobby for anybody who's over 50. And that's something that I also support my clients with. Let's find out what your hormones are doing. Let's get you supported. What are your adrenals doing? Let's support your adrenals. Do you have what kind of brain function are you having or don't have? Let's support you in your brain. Take advantage of pharmaceutical grade supplements and get the support that you need. I'm actually going to have next Wednesday, I believe 9 Pacific time, another FDN and I, Ray, are going to have, we're going to do a interview on supplementations, and we're going to chat about it, about, this and that. And so tune in next Wednesday at 9 a.m. I'm so excited to be able to go over all of that, because there's some things that people just don't understand about supplements. Some people say you don't need them at all, but I couldn't have gotten to where I'm at, and I would not have gotten 100 pounds of weight loss without supplementation. Neither would have my client and brother, Mark. So when you go through this holistic low carb method and you follow all of this, you take away the interferences, bring in the support, that stubborn weight gain, you've discovered the clarity, you've got the quick solutions now, and you've optimized your results. This is weight loss achieved. This is how you do it. And that's exciting. Now, one of the things that about the food sensitivity test that I've always thought was really interesting was when my brother first started working with me, he was my first client. His doctor told him that it was time for insulin. He said, I'm going to try diet. So by the time I got a hold of him, he'd lost a little bit of weight, but he was always hungry. He was eating sugar. He was counting calories, and he didn't feel good. And we ran the labs. He got his food sensitivity test. We figured out what was going on in his body. He was estrogen dominant, his H. pylori, lots of things happening in the body that we needed to fix. And his food sensitivities, he got his food sensitivity test, and he's like, yes, now I know exactly what I need to eat. And he stopped the inflammation in his body and had less pain. And he discovered too that walking was healthier for his body than it was riding the bike, because it was more relaxing to his stress levels. And so the bike was overwhelming for his nervous system, but walking worked for his nervous system. But I have so many clients that have come in and felt so grateful to find out what their food sensitivities are, to be able to take them out, reduce the inflammation and the pain in their body. I mean, that's what happened with Isabel. She's grateful to find out her food sensitivities and to be able to turn off the pain. And the same thing with Mary. Find out, she needed me to help her lose the weight. We discovered her food sensitivities, and I guided her into 30 pounds of weight loss in 4 months. She did that but we did it together as a team, and that makes the time collapse so that you get the results faster. It's so exciting. All of this works. And super excited to have a new client that's down 95% of her pain, 24 pounds down, and working on getting into her health freedom. She's in retirement. She's got health freedom. She's feeling amazing. All of this is possible when you put 100% implementation into this process. If this is not the lifestyle that you want to live full time, give it a go, get the results, then figure out what you can and can't do with your body. See, because once you take away all the interferences and you put your body back together again, you're going to be feeling amazing. How is that going to feel? So when sometimes people get to the point where they don't ever want to eat that crap again because they feel better. Why go back to feeling unhealthy when you've become healthy? And if you can do this and have permanent weight loss and never gain the weight back because you've got control, that's how we want to look at it. That's so exciting. I'm so excited to be the new person that I am. For those people who are coming in late, I was showing this picture earlier about how I looked at 200 pounds. This was me. I had to borrow that dress. I hated that dress, but I felt like I had to have a dress for the cruise. So I borrowed it. I don't want to buy anything. I think I'm wearing the same necklace. How funny is that? I didn't even plan that. So funny. We can be a whole new person. You can do this in 6 months to a year and you can get it started and you could have these results too. And so if you're interested in having me help you implement this process, I'm here for you. And I actually have a special for you listening to this and for whoever who inquires and has a call with me who wants to join my program. I have a free food sensitivity test. The MRT food sensitivity test is normally $355, and instead of having you pay for it, I'm going to pay for it and give it to you as a gift. You also, with my 6-month program, get 3 other free tests, and so you only pay for 2. It's such a value to get this information, to find out where the inflammation is in your body so we could turn off that pain, so we could get your body to drop the weight. Because if your body has inflammation, it's going to store more fat. The more inflammation you have, the harder it's going to be to lose the weight. And so even if you're eating a good diet and think you're doing everything right, if there's inflammation, if there are roadblocks inside your body, if you don't know what's going on, you don't understand your digestion, then you're going to get to a plateau, and then you're going to maybe think it doesn't work, and you're going to start eating whatever calls to you because your sugar switch turned back on, and then you're going to gain the weight back. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. And so if it makes it easier for me to give you an extra test so that you could actually come on board and get what you need to do, get it done, collapse the time, get healthy this year, plan a vacation next year, plan the best vacation you ever can, drop 20 to 40 pounds this year, and plan an amazing vacation for next year, because this is a staycation health adventure experience that you can have if you want me to help you implement it. And I will be here for you. That is my, this is my method. This is my holistic low carb method. It's a functional diagnostic nutrition to help you support your blood sugar dysregulation, to help you reset your metabolism, to turn off the pain of inflammation, and get your health back so that you could get healthy to lose the weight. And this works. That's how I lost 100 pounds, by focusing on all this step by step. I never gave up. I created that vision. So go get a piece of paper, write down what your vision is, write down what your goal is. And I had stated a quote at the very beginning: fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. Just get started. Make some action plans. Get on a call with me and find out what my program is going to be for you. And I have different methods to fit different budgets. If you want a 3-month program, a 6-month program, a 1-year program, I've got a solution for you. This is your weight loss solution. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Lori Ballou, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I am excited to be helping people put their health back together again, because you're worth it. All right. See you soon. Today, I want to take you on a visual, goal-setting, dream-making, life-changing process to get you back to beautiful. And sometimes we have